For that perfect crypto gift this holiday, or even a read for yourself, if you're into a good Scroogey story surrounding Bitcoin this Christmas season, this one might be for you. The Scrooge of Bitcoin is a humorous send-up on the original Scrooge story, but involving a sinister banker who wants to destroy the cryptocurrency. The story is available on Amazon as a Kindle download. A link is available in the description below, so pour yourself an eggnog and enjoy this crypto Christmas tale.
Greatest tale ever told. This a tale you could only live to tell once.
Yes, your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is December 10th, 2019. Shout out to my man out there, Reggie N on YouTube, for the song request, Kambada, Devil Dog. Thanks for this, man. I never heard this track before. This is a dope joint right here. I like the sample they use in this one. So again, thanks for the song request. Hope you guys enjoyed that. What's good, people? Hope you guys are doing all right today. Welcome to another episode. We're going to be looking at some interesting topics I found. One being the main thing, Justin Sun of Tron is seeking to buy Steemit. I thought this was pretty interesting to hear. Would this be a good move for Steemit? I don't know. I mean, Steemit's kind of been in a, I don't know what you want to call it, purgatory, right? They kind of been in limbo. They laid off a bunch of people last year, just from the bull market kind of coming back. You know, the bear market really taking a toll on a lot of projects, and Steemit was one of them. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of this, but definitely something we should keep our eyes on. I mean, I post on Steemit, but it definitely needs some improvement. The user interface and experience needs a lot of improvement, and I don't know if they're just limited by budget or technology. I'm not sure, but we'll take a look at this article out of CoinSpeaker on that. Second article out of A&B Crypto, Bitcoin value transfer occurring primarily between exchanges. That's what Chain Analysis is saying. You know, it doesn't surprise me. Shouldn't surprise you either. You know, Bitcoin is not necessarily being used for anything other than speculation at this point, people. I know we would like this to report on something different, but it is what it is. And I saw this article about this Chain Analysis finding, and I wanted to share it with you guys, and definitely want to get your feedback on that after we take a look at it. Lastly, though, MATIC panic falls, crashes 75% in minutes. What does this mean? The IEO game over? We'll have to take a look at this. A lot of people are hyping this MATIC up. But before we start, if you guys find these types of videos informative, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. I want to give a shout out to PrimeXBT. Check those guys out. Great exchange. They not only do and deal with cryptocurrencies, guys, but they have over 30 plus assets, and you can handle that all within one account. And actually, the funny thing about them, they actually have, and this kind of goes to the narrative of this exchange being an exchange that is fair and honest. 67% of their traders are, on average, are profitable. All right, so you can trade Bitcoin versus dollar, ETH versus dollar, Litecoin versus dollar, and many more. Go long and short, Bitcoin deposits only, and low fees. Again, I'm going to be hooking my algo up to this platform once the co-vesting program is available through PrimeXBT. But again, check those guys out. I really like what they're doing over there. And most importantly, no KYC. There's a link in the description below, so check them out. So let's take a look at this heat map. We're pretty much all red today, as I kind of expected. Bitcoin is down 1.4% to $7,252, and Bitcoin's dominance is at 66%. ETH is down 1.2% to $146. EOS down 2.2% to $2.49. And we've got XRP down 1% as well. Litecoin down 1.7% to $44.13. Binance token is down pretty heavily, 2.6% to $15.14. And as I've stated, we're continuing that move downward after this whiplash here yesterday that caused us to kind of take a tumble. And at this point, though, you know, we got to watch this region right here. This is a region that we need to watch, simply because if we breach it, then we're going to head much lower as in, I'm thinking maybe even all the way down to 6,500. But if you're a bull in this market and you want to be aggressive, you could buy at these levels and just hide your stop loss, maybe right around here, right below this region, or a little bit higher maybe. But if you think the market is going to head higher, that's kind of the strategy I would take on that. But I wouldn't be putting on any shorts at this point. Definitely wouldn't be putting on any shorts because we're too far away from any actionable short trade, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted on that. First article, though, Bitcoin value transfer occurring primarily between exchanges. This is what a chain analysis report said. It says recently Philip Gradwell, chief economist at Chainalysis, a blockchain data analytic company, spoke at a meetup in London about token economics and on-chain analytics. He said during this talk, he spoke about both on and off-chain data, how they can be linked together, and gave some insight based on their analysis of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies data. He says with regard to on-chain data and the ability to see the flow of value on the blockchain, Gradwell explained how such a data set doesn't exist for any other kind of payment network. And he spoke about also off-chain data, trading data from different exchange platforms for that cryptocurrency, explaining how most centralized exchanges hold custody of currencies in omnibus wallets. Gradwell also stated that it can be hard to understand whether the Bitcoin belongs to a single person or if it's being mixed up with all the Bitcoin on the exchange. Gradwell also pointed out the vastness of off-chain data as it includes terabytes of data from both spot and derivatives markets. According to Chainalysis chief economist, while on-chain can be used to verify some off-chain data, it can also be used to make predictions about what may happen in the market using the web on week percentage change between trading volumes and on-chain volume. And this is the important part that I want to kind of show you guys. Gradwell also claimed that several data sets on the blockchain follow a distribution where a small number of nodes control a large amount of activity, including wealth distribution among addresses, number of transactions, and even businesses in the space. The key point is there's a few nodes that are very highly connected, but they're connected through millions of smaller nodes that don't have so much volume going through them. Gradwell also noted how different protocols produce different data, comparing the UTX model of Bitcoin to the account-based system used on Ethereum. He further spoke about how services are really key to understanding activity and how despite being a decentralized system, so much activity actually flows through centralized services, and that the majority of the value transferred occurred between exchanges themselves. So, this is what the question I pose for you guys. Is that a bad thing that, this article is kind of demonstrating and showing that things are centralized? But I guess the point I want to kind of bring up here, we do have to differentiate centralization of pricing and centralization of tech. And do you think that Bitcoin is technically centralized, or is it only centralized in the manner of price? Meaning there are a select few whales, whether it be exchanges or individuals, that pretty much kind of determines the direction of the price of Bitcoin. If the latter is the case, I personally wouldn't be too concerned, because that will change as more people come into the marketplace. Competition will kind of level that out. But if the former is true, that is centralized from a technical standpoint, meaning, just the control over the whole network, and there is some argument and some truth that can derive from that. Bitcoin is centralized from a mining perspective as well, which kind of translate into a security concern. Could be, if three entities control 51% or more of the hashing power, which was the case last time I checked, this is something we should talk about. And this is ironic that the site that I used to reference for that is no longer out there. So you can, I got my conspiracy theories about why. Was he paid off to take that information down? Because it really exposed not only Bitcoin, other coins as well, how centralized they were from a mining hash rate perspective. So we'll see what happens with this. Very interesting, because it just highlights how a technology can be used in a good way or in a bad way. And when it comes to Bitcoin and blockchain, it definitely can be used in a bad way as far as surveillance, because it's all there for you to see. Let's take a look at this article out of Trust Knows about MATIC token. Many people were really pumping this token hard, man. Look at that chart. Wow. Complete drop off. 75% fall in minutes. That is for MATIC token. A little known token has become talk of the town after a plunge of 75%. But according to Binance, a number of big traders panicked, causing a cycle. CZ from Binance said he was able to determine the above by looking through the high impact profit loss accounts. And if the majority of them can be identified, i.e. long term, known VIPs versus anonymous traders, etc., He says the MATIC team has nothing to do with it. Some tweet claimed that 1.5 billion or 60 million at a peak MATIC tokens have been transferred to Binance in the past few weeks. This was later clarified by the co-founder of MATIC Network, who said only 248 million MATIC tokens had been sent to Binance, worth about 10 million at the 4-cent price prior to the crash. So after quite some scrolling on Telegram to get to the midnight timeline, it appears traders reached a consensus of sorts that this was to fall, with Chainlink pumping FOMOing. The very small market cap of MATIC at just 50 million makes this a tiny community that after a considerable rise was probably getting very nervous. In another article, my man Jacob Canfield said that you don't know dump until you bought Digibyte on the Minecraft rumor in 2017, or the Z Classic at 300 after McAfee shielded Bitcoin private. So CoinGape is essentially saying that, this move down by MATIC is nothing compared to Z Classic. And I mean, that's true, but who's to say that MATIC is done falling? You guys let me know if you own any of this MATIC. I never touched it. To be honest with you, most of these tokens won't be here in another year or two. It just is what it is. I've seen it before, people. I've been in the altcoin season 1, and all those coins are dead with the exception of very few. Dogecoin, Litecoin, maybe a couple of them, some that were rebranded, but don't think this stuff lasts forever. If you don't have a true competitive advantage, then your coin is going to be probably dead. Let's just be honest with you, in the next 2 years. So the main article I wanted to touch on today, coin speaker Justin Sun of Tron wishes to buy Steemit, Chinese news reports. It says that Steemit was launched in July of 2016 and can become a good additional network for Tron's business model. According to the Mars Finance Weibo channel, Justin Sun said that his company had received 2 new companies during a series of acquisitions. Later, the secret source in Tron told Mars Finance that the plans to unite with Steemit are true. More than that, the Chinese news website reported the same information. However, the article is gone from their website at the time of writing. So it says Justin Sun announced acquisitions via Twitter on December 1st without revealing the details, though. He said one more announcement. Stay tuned for new acquisitions in BTT and TRX ecosystem. Interesting. Steemit.com is a distributed network where authors from across the planet share their investigations, news, thoughts on cryptocurrencies and computer technology. Steemit presents itself as a blogging page, but with blockchain and tips in the native currency. Killer feature, the authors can receive tips right on the go, then send the money from platform to exchange and dump it for cash. To avoid censorship, Twitter, Facebook, and Google are so famous for Steemit stores user text right on the blockchain, preventing rewrite attempts or third-party interference. So this would be interesting because how do you feel about Steemit or Steem and that whole ecosystem and that community gelling with the Tron community? Is that something that you think will be a cohesive and smooth transition? I don't know. I think they're 2 different communities, but we'll have to see what happens. I don't even know if technically they're going to integrate or if it's just a business acquisition. And this brings me to another point, and I always say this about XRP. These companies, man, I'm telling you guys, like, they are stealing. They're really pimping a lot of token holders out here because they're making acquisitions with, I'm assuming, they're using kind of some of the proceeds from the huge run up and success from ICOs in 2017, and they're using this money to acquire real businesses and real assets. But that doesn't translate into any additional value for you as a token holder. And so I think this is yet another example that Justin Sun is, became very wealthy from the ICO in 2017, but he's out here acquiring various businesses. BitTorrent, it looks like Steemit. He's acquired a few other companies, but that doesn't do anything for the TRX coin. It's just interesting to see how people don't see that. But and the same thing goes for Ripple. Ripple INC, their acquisitions, they're going crazy with the acquisitions. But those acquisitions doesn't mean anything for a token holder. And that's cool. If you just want to have the token just as a memorabilia type of thing, fine. Or speculate with. You can make money speculating. back and forth with it, absolutely. But you have to remember, these tokens don't mean equity. They don't mean equity in any business dealings that these companies partake in. So just remember that. I hope you guys remember that. That's pretty much it though for today. Let me know if you think this acquisition will happen, firstly, and secondly, do you think it's a good move for Steemit to be purchased? They were into financial hardship there from 2018, so maybe a good look for them. That's my 2 Satoshis for today, people. Shout out again to my man Reggie N out there on YouTube for the song request by Kambada Devil Dog. If you found this video informative, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. I'm out of here, people.
I'm my own planet with a huge jar.